Story time on how I smoked the green stuff and then blacked out while I make slime. It's officially been a year since I posted my first slime video. Y'all, I blacked out so bad, like I literally could not remember anything, but y'all already know, get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put more, but I was like, what? I was like 16 at this time, and I was hanging out with older people, and it's like automatic peer pressure. I want to add that I smoked the green stuff before. Like, this was not my first altercation with the green stuff, and I found this magic liquid in Walmart. I was with my cousin and her best friend, and my cousin's best friend, we gonna call her BB. BB wasn't even allowed to, so we would like sneak it, and we went into BB's garage and we made like a makeshift bong out of a freaking water bottle, right? I just want to say a disclaimer. If you're new to this page, y'all, I'm a weirdo, okay? So I do weird stuff. Okay, y'all, we in BB's garage, right? And BB is like dropping the green stuff on the floor, like while she's trying to like prepare it, right? And me being me, I just start to see the green stuff dropping on the floor. I'm like, this is such a waste. I pick it up and eat it. Why? I don't know. But in my head, it's like, if I ate it, it would be more of a raw, real reaction. So, she makes like the water bottle bong, and like I take like maybe 4 pits out of that. And mind you, I'm 16. So maybe after like the 3rd hit, I start to feel whoosh. Y'all, I'm fading out. So next thing you know, we're done, and it's time for us to go back to BB's room, right? So all I know is as soon as she opened up that garage door, I teleported to her room. Now, like I said, since I did black out, a lot of this stuff was told to me later on. Like, I do not remember a lot of this stuff. So apparently, when I was walking back up to like BB's room, I was literally loud. Like, I could barely walk up the stairs. Like, I was giggling loud as crap. Like, yeah. We're up in BB's room, y'all. And all I know is that I think she started to play music or something, and then out of nowhere, I just started to strip. Like, I still had like my undergarments on, but I just started to strip. I took a Sharpie and drew a mustache on my face. The icing on the cake, the foot that kicked the cow. I called my ex over 100 times. Over 100. And if you think me calling him over 100 times was bad, I proceed to get on Instagram Live and talk about how much I miss him. I sent him the live over like 100 times. I was literally on live just like spilling my guts. And y'all think that I would stop there, calling him 100 times, that's bad enough. Getting on live, inviting him to the live over 100 times, that's also bad. Y'all think I would stop there? No, I didn't stop there. I proceeded to post on my story, right? Just long videos of me talking about how much I miss my ex. And the worst part about it all, y'all, is the next day, I woke up confused, like not even remembering anything that I did. Like, I woke up, I don't remember if I had a headache, but I definitely woke up confused. And, yeah, I go to my Instagram story, and instead of me deleting it, I just kept it there. Like, I just kept the story, and it was over more than one story. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 stories of me just talking about how I miss my ex, and then a bunch of other stuff. Like, to this day, I don't know what happened to me. Yeah, it's just multiple sad parts throughout this entire story, but like the thing that gets me is that I did not remember, and I still don't remember. And the only reason why I know about some of the stuff that I did was because it was recorded and there was proof. Like, my cousin, unfortunately, she lost her Snapchat, so she can't even send me the videos, and I wouldn't even show y'all the videos of me dancing in my bra and basketball shorts with a freaking mustache drawn on my face. I wouldn't even show y'all that. But just imagine, y'all don't even know what I looked like when I was younger, but just it's just crazy. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know what popped in my head to do that, but I did it. So, scary story time on how I was left at school until 9 p.m. and a stranger drove me home while I make slime. Period. Yeah. I was like 14 years old when this happened. Y'all already know, get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. So boom, this is freshman year. I already mentioned I was 14, and this is also the year my auntie ended up getting sick with cancer. So with that being said, all of like the responsibility fell on my older cousin, and You know, sometimes you forget things when you're dealing with bigger things. So I got dropped off at like 8:30, 8 p.m. and I got let out of school at like 2:15, 2:20, okay? Y'all already know, when you get let out of school, sometimes people are going to be talking in front of the school. Some people are walking home. Other people are walking to the store. Like, everyone's doing their own thing. So at this point, I'm tired. I've been in school all day. So I go to my designated spot. This is warm water with baking soda, but I already knew it was going to be a minute before somebody came to pick me up because for some reason they would go pick up my cousins first when my cousin's school was further than mine. For some reason the baking soda did not work this time, but whatever. But anyways, this usually took around like what, 15-20 minutes for them to go to their school and then mine. I was in my spot, I was in my zone, and I was too afraid to whip out my Android. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't know where anybody else. I'm tired. Let me just kick back my feet and lay back. I'm also gonna add some of this lime. But anyways, yeah. It's actually the front of my old school, but I'd lay down on this thing. These are kids like on it, but like literally I would just lay down where these kids are sitting, but on the other side. Like, I'm gonna close my eyes for a couple of seconds. Like, it's not gonna be that freaking long. Okay, y'all, I messed up the time schedule. I actually got let out of school at like 3:40. Everything still applies, but the time is different. So I actually went to school at like 7:30 and then got out at like 3:40. So at this point, I lay down and I go to sleep, okay? And I started to feel uncomfortable, so I woke up and I'm like, you know, what time is it? Like, where is everybody at? What time is it? Y'all, it was 4:40 and I was still in front of the school by myself. So at this time, I'm looking at my phone being delusional and I'm like, okay, maybe they got held up at practice, like maybe something important happened, you know, that's probably what's going on here. And I just decide to connect to the Wi-Fi and I start texting my people on Text Now, texting people on Instagram, calling them on Instagram and Text Now because my phone was not on. The sun is starting to set, it's going on 5 o'clock, and the people who do sports, they're leaving the school. Like, literally my friend, she's leaving the school and she's walking home. I know people are gonna be like, okay, so why didn't you walk home, you know? And honestly, y'all, I started to think about walking home, but across the street from my school was this park. You know, during the day, like, kids would probably skip to the park and they would do things in the park, but during nighttime, the park was actually really creepy to pass by. Really creepy and sketchy, if I'm being honest, but whatever. And then, like, walking around the park, it was just like longer. It would be a longer walk walking around the park. Like, also walking around the park was long and it was also creepy walking around that way. And at this point, it's already dark. So no, that's a no. And I'm over here being naive, like my family's gonna come pick me up. No, they forgot. Time is going by. Time is going by. Time is going by. At this point, y'all, the teachers are leaving the school. Okay, so I'm just literally in the front of the school, sitting there like, they closed the school gate, y'all. That's how bad it got. And no teacher thought, why is this little kid still sitting in front of the school by herself? None of them thought that. None of them was like, hey, do you need a ride? No. At this point, y'all, I just had no hopes for my family. Like, I was like, I have to suck it up and walk through this park, or walk around like the park, walk through the park. And I'm so scared. I'm just gonna pray the entire time I walk. But I was so scared, y'all. I could have sworn I seen like a figure looking at me through the trees. Okay, I was scared. In my head, I'm thinking everybody else in school, they're gone. Like, I'm just the only one at the school. No. Actually, my lifesaver. I forgot to add that it was only getting colder, and at this point I was literally freezing. I was freezing cold. And out of nowhere, I start to hear students coming out of like the gates. And I'm like, what? Like, people are still here? And next thing you know, I see my lifesaver, Evan. Evan was a kid that I transferred to school with, and he was so nice. Like, me and him were like, we were friends in the beginning and then we became acquaintances. And he see me, he was like, oh, hey. And I was like, hi. And he was like, what are you still doing here? And I was like, I'm just waiting for my family to come pick me up because I'm still being delusional. I'm still holding on to hope. He mentioned it. What? He mentions it again. And I'm like, you're good. And then, like, all of his teammates, they get picked up and his mom pulls up last and he's on his phone and I'm over there just freezing with my backpack. And he comes up to me one more time and he's like, are you sure you don't need a ride? And in that moment, I was so scared because his mother could be, for all I know, you know? So I'm like, yeah, like, I need a ride. And he was like, okay, like, I'm just gonna tell my mom real quick. And she's like, sweetie, come on. Come on. I get in the car and I was actually scared, but I get in the car and I'm praying, and she's like, "Why are you out here so late?" And I'm like, I think an emergency happened at home. Like, I'm literally making up all the excuses I can because I'm still thinking an emergency happened. Whatever, she drives me home because, again, I literally like lived like 5 to 10 minutes away from the school, if even that, more like 3 minutes when you're driving. I get home and she's like, "Okay, like, stay safe," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And that was that. I literally walked inside and I was like, literally everyone was like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "I was at school." And they were like, "Oh, like, you had like after school program?" And I was like, "No, you guys forgot to pick me up." And they were like, "What? Like, are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, I'm just gonna say older cousin forgot to pick me up." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry," and da 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 da. And that was that, honestly. And that wasn't even the last time, unfortunately. Story time on how my friend lied about a school shooting to get us out of trouble while I make slime. Y'all already know, get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. So, this was my freshman year of high school, and I just want to say I had little to no social skills because I was sheltered. As soon as I got a little freedom, I'm telling y'all, I had a potty mouth. I was cussing. I was ghetto. Like, I was that one weirdo black girl that wanted to hang out with everybody, but nobody wanted to hang out with her. I did have a girl best friend, but at this time she was hanging out with her other friends and she kind of ditched me a lot. So, it got tiring being by myself. I ended up hanging out with the school's problem. We're going to call her M. Now, M, she was notoriously known for ditching, getting in fights, starting problems, spreading rumors, being fake, like the list goes on. Me being me, I'm like, I'm not gonna judge a book by its cover, and I can fix her. Like, I can fix her. Like, she's not an issue. By the way, it's the shaving cream that's activating my slime. Because I use this blue right here. This is slime, but yeah. So boom, we hang out. We start hanging out. At first, I didn't know if any of the rumors about her were true, but the ditching and skipping school part, yeah, those were true. Y'all also can add a little warm water and baking soda if you don't want it to be sticky. Anyways, I had no friends that wanted to hang out with me, so it was either sit alone at first lunch and feel the embarrassment or hang out with M. I chose to hang out with M. Me and her started ditching, and I was the scary girl. Like, I'm like, I don't know if we should do this, but she's like, "Come on, like, it's gonna be fun." Like, I was just super naive and dumb. I was also not recognized at that school whatsoever, so if I ditched to second lunch, no one would notice. But since she was like a problem at the school, everybody knew who she was. Like, the security guards, the office, nobody knew who I was. But since I was with her, they knew I had to be ditching. I had got caught ditching with like 3 times with her, and the dean had told us 4 strikes and you're out. And she's like, "Girl, this is like our second time ditching. We don't want to hit the 3 mark, so like, let's make up a lie." She told me to tell the teacher the reason why we were ditching was because somebody was like, a guy I was talking to was gonna come to the school and hurt me. So me being me, I'm like, "Girl, why don't you do it? Like, why do I gotta do it? Like, I want to do this." She's like, "Girl, because like, they're not gonna believe me. Like, you just have to go with it." Me being naive and dumb, I'm like, okay. So the teacher comes out and, I'm like, "Oh, the reason why like this is happening is because like I was really scared because this guy is threatening to hurt me." And the teacher took that as pew, pew, pew. Why when I'm about to say no, like not like that, why does M go, "Yeah, like he threatened that he was gonna come to the school and like pew pew us and all this different types of stuff." And I'm looking at her and the teacher looking at me and then looking at her, and she could just tell that this is a lie. I tell you, I gave this girl like the strongest side eye. Like, what are you saying? At this point, my heart is beating fast, and the teacher's like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Yes, like, we're just super scared. That's why we were ditching. Like, it just became a serious issue and da da da." And I'm just looking like, shaking my head, this girl gonna get us in even more trouble than we was. The teacher just looks like she's so tired. She's like, "Now, girls, an accusation like this is really dangerous because, the police, they're going to get involved and they're going to have to search her phone." And mind you, it was her phone that she was saying the guy allegedly texted me, I guess. Teacher goes on to explain basically like, "Girl, like, what did you expect? Like, you're claiming that a grown man is going to come to the school and get you. So you're literally putting everybody else's lives in danger. So of course we got to check your phone." Then the teacher goes on to say like, "This is a serious accusation. It better be true." And she walks back into the office, and then she looks at me like, "Girl, what are we gonna do? Like, they're talking about checking the phone." I'm looking at her like, "You don't want, what are we gonna?" She go, I tell her, I'm like, "Girl, like, we just need to tell the teacher that we're lying. Like, no, like, we just need to tell the teacher." It's like, okay, like, I think you're right, because, like, we have no messages literally to prove anything. And I'm like, nah, Dip, why would you? The teacher comes back out, and she's like, so what will it be, girls? Like, what's going on? Is this the truth? Like, the teacher could just see straight through the lies. Like, she knew we was lying. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not the truth. Like, no guys come to the school to shoot us. And surprisingly, we didn't get in trouble. Like, we just got basically a warning. And I think we got in trouble for, like, ditching, but we did not get in trouble for, like, making up that whole lie. Even though I didn't make it up, I just went along with it. Guilty by association. So yeah, that's the story. And yes, the story is true. I later ended up wanting to fight that girl because guess what? The rumors about her being fake and lying on people, those was true too. The cat's out of the bag, y'all. My dad has found my TikTok. So here's a story time on how he found out why I play with slime. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Yeah. But around like 12 something, I got this text from my dad. And I'm only going to read the first part. And it says, you're just a effing lying bee just like your mother. Tea for me. Like tea for me, you know. I didn't see that text message because I was night, like I was taking a nap, okay? And, you know, at the end of my luxurious nap, I hear my mom and my grandma on the phone. Me being nosy, you know, my grandma, she hands the phone to me, and my mom, she's like, beware. I'm like, beware of what, Mom? Beware of what? She's like, your dad found your TikTok, and he's livid, like he's mad. And at this point, y'all, am I mad? No, it was inevitable. Like, it was gonna happen. Like y'all, I'm at 800,000 followers. I'm surprised nobody has sent that man my TikTok until now. But you know, I was surprised that it took this long. What? So apparently, I don't know which family member did it, but somebody found my TikTok and they showed their TikTok to another person, and that said person called my dad livid, I guess cussing him out. And his reaction to me was, I'm a lying effing bee. And the reason why he can call me the B word so easily is because he's been calling me the B word. Riddle me this. Don't y'all think, in all honesty, don't you think, if I was lying on this man's name, wouldn't I have started doing it the moment I got from under his supervision? Let me give y'all a timeline. I moved to New York when I was 16 years old, right? I have not seen my parents since I was 16. It's been 6 years. So, you know, by your logic, as soon as I moved to New York, I should have picked up the phone and started filming TikToks. By the way, this isn't my first time going viral on TikTok. I went viral back in 2023 trying Japanese snacks. If it was all for views, I would have exposed you during this time. And technically, you're still not exposed because nobody knows who you are besides family. Nobody knows your name. Nobody knows your age. They don't know anything about you besides what you've done to me. Oh yeah, and he's trying to sue me, I guess. Sue me because I'm lying. And he's talking about defamation of character, but nobody knows who you are. But yeah, y'all, the cat's out of the bag. So, hey family, like... Hey y'all! Part 2 on how my dad found out about my TikTok while I reactivate some old slime. Get your money's worth and let it drain. You already know. It's like it's sticky, but at the same time, it's not sticky. I don't know. A lot of y'all are new here, so you probably don't know. My dad was abusive growing up, and that is why he feels so comfortable saying this to me. Because he was abusive growing up. The reason why he's mad though is because I'm telling story times about my childhood, and it was one specific story time that made him really mad, and it was the one where I talked about he basically kidnapped me and my sisters and held us against our will. Now, I don't know the exact plot line on how he was notified, but somebody told him. And am I mad? No. Like I said, I am not mad. Long story short, I literally did not text that man back. Like, I just ignored his messages just because, like, I don't feel like dealing with BS today. And for those of you who keep saying, oh my gosh, you're 22, I'm 20. Yeah, 20. And don't you dare start complaining about the rings. My rings are good. I always clean them, y'all. Shush. Anyways, after that, he ended up like texting me again after I had ignored him hours later. And he was just really saying that I used him and my sisters for views and money. And he's gonna sue me. He's gonna come after me. He's gonna set me down. He's gonna put me in my place. Pretty much everything. And I want to ask something for the family watching this video. If you're watching this video, know something. Before I ever spoke on this man's name, I already had over 400,000 followers. I made 38 videos that went over 1 million views before I ever spoke on that man. So no, I didn't get my views from him. I've been had views. I could literally delete all the story times about my dad right now and still have motion. This man basically is talking about he gonna get the family on me, and everyone's gonna tell their side on how he's really a good guy and I'm lying, I'm just like my mother and everything. Apparently he's watching me closely and I need to be careful about what I say about him. But yeah, the aftermath was basically a bunch of backwards and forth. Like, he got to a point to where he just started to say too much nonsense. So I did text him, I did engage, I knew I shouldn't have, but it's just like, why are you talking to me like this? Why are you being this way towards your baby girl? Like, now I haven't heard from him. Maybe it's been 2 days since I've heard from him. So yeah, the devil really tries to get you every single time you're actually doing good in life. Like, I really just stay out the way. I don't be in people's business. That's a lie. I do be in people's business. But, if it come up on my For You page, that's not my fault. Anyways, I'm not in the mix. Like, I'm out of the mix. I mind my business. I make slime and talk about the crazy things that has happened in my lifetime. So, for the fact for you, like, I just stuttered, but you're so unbothered and no one knows you. No one knows you. So I want to add that the only people who know what this man looks like is literally family members and my boyfriend, and that's it. That's the part 2. He was basically big mad, big hurt over a story time that is literally truthful, no lies detected in that story time. And what blows my mind every time is that if it wasn't true, why are you texting my phone talking about some you lying F&B, just like your mother? Right? If I was lying and you was a good dad and you found out that I was lying, you wouldn't have hit my phone up like that. You would have been like, oh, I'm very, very disappointed in you. Why would you feel the need to lie to people? You're not going to hit my phone talking about some you're lying F&B. So yeah, that's the update. I haven't talked to him in like 2 days, like I said before. So yeah. Scary story time while I fix store-bought slime, period. Get your money's worth in what? Let it dream. I hope I don't mess up my beautiful pajamas. This one is called Cotton Candy. Y'all think it's gonna smell like it? So for those of you who are new here, you probably aren't aware I live in a haunted house. That's number 1. Comes with stars. Anyways, so for the past couple of nights, there has been sounds. Ugh, wait. I'm sorry, this caught me off guard. But there has been sounds of like something dropping, like something moving, something dropping, cabinets opening, doors closing. And I'm used to seeing things and I'm used to like hearing things, but like I'm not used to like slamming doors, slamming cabinets. Y'all, this is just literally gooey slime. Like, it stretches, but it's like, oh my gosh, does it pop at least? Well, and then the other night I literally heard like somebody in the kitchen and then walk into the bathroom and close the bathroom door. And I thought it was my auntie. I go in there, I'm in the kitchen because I'm thinking someone's in the kitchen with me, y'all. Like, somebody's in the bathroom or whatever. And then like I go to the bathroom and nobody's in there. Yeah. But it's like, I'm just so used to it now. It doesn't, like, it freaks me out, but it doesn't freak me out. I don't think there's any fixing this slime because it's just like, it's getting more stretchy, but it's like, I hate the gooey consistency. I don't know, but I'm gonna try. So yesterday, so I'm sitting down and I'm playing the game, right? And then me and my grandma, we hear like a noise in the kitchen, like something dropped. Like, it sounded like something moved and dropped. So my grandma, she basically goes to ask my auntie if she was in the kitchen. And my auntie goes like, no, I wasn't in the kitchen. And I'm obviously, like, I'm playing the game. There's no way I could be in the kitchen while I'm playing the game. So I'm like, well, it's clear that I wasn't in the kitchen. Again, since me and my family are so used to this, we just be like, that's scary. Somebody was probably in here with us. Literally, recently, I started hearing my name, y'all. Like, somebody saying my government, okay? Because y'all don't know my government. But someone saying my government. And I was just like, but y'all, this slime, it's not a bad slime. It's just, it wasn't what I expected. I expected, like, the rest of the category, not gooey slime. I'm sorry if I seem so uninterested. I'm trying to get myself to feel better because of all the goals that I've accomplished. And also, with that being said, thank y'all so much for 1 million freaking followers. Like, that's insane. I wish I could celebrate. I appreciate y'all so much. I want to make like an official appreciation post because this is crazy. And by the way, it doesn't smell like cotton candy. It smells like factory. Big store-bought slime with me while I tell y'all my deepest, darkest secrets. Y'all wanted a series, so y'all got one. Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. We're gonna start off with this one, and it's called Candy Crunch, and there's some stuffing. I literally used to be obsessed with Gacha Life. I could never open these, but I used to be obsessed with Gacha Life. So I was like 14 when I discovered Gacha Life, okay? Okay, it comes with sprinkles. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty, and there's a bubble on top. Anyways, literally back in, oh my gosh, 2018, 2019, playing Gacha Life as a 14, 15-year-old, you're a freak. I used to spend an unhealthy amount of time on Gacha Life for a 14, 15-year-old, like day in, day out, all night editing. That's actually how I learned to edit. It smells good. Oh my gosh. So the only people who knew I played Gacha Life was my sisters. Like, nobody else knew. And back in 2019, they were barely accepting people watching anime. We pouring this in here. Not gonna pour that much. Here we go. We're gonna add some shaving cream because this slime is just not it. But me being into the secret hybrid princess as a 15-year-old back then, yeah, I would literally have been made fun of. So I literally just kept it a secret. And if people were like, oh, do you know what Gacha Life is? And I was like, I'll be like, yeah, I heard of it. I heard of it. I literally had an account. I was posting videos. Like, y'all, it was deep. The color was so beautiful. I'm so sad that I had to like add shaving cream. And I still watch Gacha Life to this day. What are you gonna do about it? I don't care that I'm 20 years old and watching Gacha Life. I don't care. Honestly, y'all, I think I fixed this slime because it's way more stretchy and it's making noises. And it's actually really pretty. Oh my gosh. I actually like this series. This is fun. Anyways, y'all, on to the next secret. This one is called Sprinkled Donut. I used to actively smell my crushes. Yeah. This is gonna sound so bad, but one of my crushes was my teacher. I literally was crushing on that man so bad, y'all. This one smells good. Wait. I honestly spoke too soon because as soon as like you whiff it in, it starts to hurt. Anyways, yeah, one of my crushes. What's this? Yeah, this is just, whoa. This is just super hard. That's what she said. This specific PE teacher, he was like, I would say like an assistant teacher. He wasn't like our real PE teacher. I ain't gonna say his name, but y'all, I was crushing on that young black man. I was crushing on him. And he would come to school with this one specific cologne on. I can't tell y'all what it was, but it smelled amazing. And like my friends would literally make fun of me for smelling him, and I feel so bad for this teacher because he probably felt so uncomfortable because this was a normal like occurrence. Like, I would see him, run up to him, hug him, smell him. And I would do it in the open with him because he was a teacher, but with like my freaking other crushes, they did not know. Like, there was this one boy who sat in front of me, and I would like go up for, I was one of those yeah. I forgot to show y'all, this one came with like sprinkles because it's a sprinkled donut. So y'all don't come for me, but I used to have a crush on Larry and James Charles. Okay, I won't say I had a crush on James Charles, but I used to think James Charles was actually really cute. Larry or Larry, regardless of which one it is, I used to have a crush on that man. And I'm not talking about like his recent look. I'm talking about like 2019, 2020, like, Me and my siblings were literally obsessed with his videos, and he was just always cute to me. So, I mean, hey. Okay, y'all. I used to make fake accounts to, like, catfish people. I don't know why. Like, this was when I was, like, 13, 14, and me and my sisters would just make a whole bunch of, like, light-skinned boy Snapchats and Instagrams and just, like, text people. I know it sounds so evil now, and looking back, I don't know why we did this. Y'all, I'm saying this is a success. Like, look, it's definitely way more stretchy. It makes a little bit of sound now. Listen to this. I farted in class and blamed it on the kid next to me, and he had headphones in. So, like, when people looked my way, I would just do this. Okay, for, like, context, This was like after lunch, and we had like nachos and beans for lunch. Bean dip. I don't know what they did because beans don't affect me. I don't know what they put up in there. Y'all, stomach literally just started rumbling out of nowhere in class, and I was like, oh, this is the end of me. I cannot make the perfect freaking. I was like, "Ugh, this is the end of me. What am I gonna do?" And I went to move, and it just said. Literally, the whole class gets quiet. Looks my way. I go. And he had headphones in, he ain't know. I could do like a full story time on that because y'all, it actually gets worse from there. Like it causes actual beef, y'all. Actual beef between me and that kid. Since this one is called a sprinkled donut, I just thought that I'd like go to the name. Y'all. Here we have it, an ugly sprinkled donut. Why is it? Yeah, an ugly sprinkled donut. All right, y'all. Bye. If you made it to the end of the video, go subscribe to my YouTube channel because I will be posting a vlog about all the stuff that I bought today and all that good stuff, how to make slime, all that good stuff. Big store-bought slime with me while I tell y'all my deepest, darkest secrets in honor of 900,000 followers. This slime stretches, but like it doesn't poke, so I'm gonna add some shaving cream. Get your money's up and let it drain, like okay, y'all, so when I was in the 9th grade, I definitely freaking had sticky fingers. Like it's too hard, but I had sticky fingers. And there was this one girl who was just so freaking mean to me. Like that girl, like mean to me. And I remember this one time I wasn't feeling too good, so I went back to the girls locker room. And all I could just remember is hearing this girl brag about all the snacks she got and this new necklace that she just bought from the store. And I'm like, I fixed it. I'm like, I'm gonna take that. So what did I do? I snatched it. Okay, I took it. I took them Takis and I ate them Takis at lunch. So if you ever wondering where your missing Takis went, I had them and I ate them in your face and you didn't even know. I just think it was justified. It's a justified crash out. Like she used to literally bully me. Like I don't care. Okay, so my second embarrassing secret. Y'all, I definitely fixed the slime with just a little bit of shaving cream, not even any activator. It pokes, it's way stretchy, and then it makes noise. Look, watch. Yes. This slime was from the Dollar Tree. So I think that's a win-win. Okay, so on to my next deepest, darkest secret. This slime doesn't really need fixing, but I feel like it just rips off too easily. So we're just gonna fix a portion of it, okay? Okay, so when I was like 14, 15 years old, there was this boy that lived in my apartment complex. And his dad would always make jokes like, oh, you're da-da-da's girl, like you're da-da-da's girl. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, stop. And at first, I did not like that boy. Like, he was just too stuck up for me. And then on top of that, he was a light skin. So, you know, they don't like our kind. So I'm like, no, right? I'm very weary of this entire thing. And there was this one time he took his shirt off and everything went in slow motion. I was just like, I immediately started to have a crush on this boy, right? And that boy hated my guts. Like, I don't know what I did to him, but he literally hated my guts. He could not stand the sight of me. And it was probably because his dad would like make jokes about us being together 24/7, but he hated my guts. Anyways, so I remember this, like, literally his dad, like, and on the weekends would roll in his truck and he would just be sitting all cool like this. And I would just be like, right? So there was this one time that I was like, you know what, to get a closer view of my soon to be husband, I'm going to hide behind a tree and stalk this man. That was the logical thought that I had in my brain. So that's exactly what I did. I asked my dad if I can go outside. He told me yes. So I hid behind the tree and I'm just like this, waiting for him to pull up. So guess what? His dad truck pulls up, long and behold, but he's not in the car. And his dad gets out and he's like, you could go ahead and stop hiding behind that tree. He ain't here. That's not even the worst part of the entire situation. Later that night, he ended up pulling up. And I remember he literally told my sister that he did not like me and he thought I was the ugliest creature in the world. Told my sister I was the ugliest creature in the world. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I fixed this slime because it's definitely like way more stretchy, but it still breaks and it pokes away more. Also, one last thing before I end this video, look how beautiful this slime is. And number 2, Kaymaire is not my real name.